Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage, and today we're back on the Schroll Coupe project. So the last video you guys saw, last two videos you guys saw where we got the rear end in, we worked on the rear radius rod situation, got the engine and trans mounted in. I worked on trying to level all of that out, and we kind of come to a point where I really know what needs to happen. So we had a lot of people that were commenting, or a handful of people that were commenting in the first video on the rear that were asking me about the pinion angle and also drive shaft clearance and all that stuff. And to be completely honest, I was kind of in the middle of everything, just trying to get stuff done, and I didn't really take a drive shaft and fit it in here, and I thought it would clear, and it doesn't. It's just basically touching on this cross member here, so that's not going to work. So kudos to people to watch that and saw my mistakes and were pointing them out. Good job at noticing my mistakes. But yeah, I made a mistake. I didn't realize it. I was in the middle of kind of figuring everything out, and just it's one of those oversight things that happens. Again, I'll say it a million times in this channel, I'm just some young kid building old hot rods, so I will make mistakes like this over and over again. So what I need to do, what I found is, I got the engine and trans all set in, and basically the transmission and engine are where they need to be. If I drop any lower with this transmission to get the to try and get the carbs more level, we end up getting the output shaft, the end of the transmission angle is far too steep, and we start getting a really steep angle on that. So right now where this is sitting, it's just under 3 degrees. I forget the exact measurement, but it's over 2 but under 3, but say 2.7 or something like that. So it's right in the ballpark of where it needs to be. If you look at any books on setting chassis up and suspension and pinion angles, that's 3 degrees seems to be the sweet spot within a degree or so. Now the rear end, where I set everything in and where it ended up landing, it has a slightly too steep of a pinion angle. Most importantly, it doesn't match where I could get the transmission at. So if I could have gotten the trans down lower in the rear, it probably would have got the carbs level, and I probably could have got this to about the same angle of the rear. The pinion angle is about, it's like 5.6 or something like that, over 5. So it's basically like 2 degrees off, or 2.5 degrees off of 3 degrees. So if I would have got this down, I probably could have got it to where that is, but that's still, everything I read, seems to be a little too steep, and 3 is kind of the magic sweet spot number to get to. So we have a couple things we need to address. I need to get clearance for the drive shaft, so that's a problem. So one thing I'm going to try today, again using old parts and just trying to use what I have laying around, same kind of mindset as how the car was built, is I have this U section that came out of my 33 3-window. Actually, we cut this bracket out when we were setting the LaSalle box with the Arden in, and I plasma cut this out and just kept it around like I always do. And this actually it's really strong and it has a nice dip to it. I think what I could do is take this dip section, fit it in place of the center of this cross member here, put this piece that I've already tack welded in place and made it to this, and we will be able to get our wishbone mount dropped a little bit lower to get our pinion angle at that 3 degrees that we need, and also will give us our clearance for our drive shaft, so everything should jive. And then in the end, I'm going to end up putting some cross braces or angle braces off of this this cross member here. So that is where we're at. I need to fix some stuff that I had oversights, but we will get it fixed and hopefully moving forward by the end of this video. So I'm going to work on cutting my tacks, getting my angles set up correctly, and then figuring out how I can fit this piece right here back into the car. right, so I got all these pieces tacked together now. This isn't my cleanest work, but it should work out just fine, and we're making what we can out of what we got without re-engineering the whole thing here. So what I did is I took the lower section of this wishbone mount and I cut that out and then fit that to the bottom of this U-shaped cross-member section out of the 33, tack them all together. There's some little spots we got to fill in and make all one, and then I made some plates that I cut out with the Eastwood metal jigsaw to give it a nice flow to the shape here. I cut the same thing on the back side and put those on the back of this channel here just to make everything level in the same shape. Then what I did is I cut this 3-inch strap here, and I'm going to lay this on, and we will shape this to this whole flowing shape that we have here, and that will box everything in and make it, you know, fully boxed. So it should be plenty strong. Then when we go at the end to cut out this little section here, everything should be plenty strong. And I'm going to bring this bottom plate all the way out to the edge of the frame and maybe even wrap it up a little bit. Since the car's channeled, you can't really see this section. I'm going to bring it right out to the edge, and that should be okay. So I'm going to start cleaning these parts up, getting them bent into shape, and then I can tack them in, and we'll be ready to cut that out and be done this part of the project. All right, so I got the center section cut out. I just did a little bit of welding around the perimeter there of where the notch is, and everything's good for now till we move on and take the frame apart, flip it over, and I can finish weld everything on the underside. But you know, the bottom stuff's just tacked in for now and should be fine for moving the car around to continue forward with the project. So that was a big oversight on my part, and it's just the reality of working on this stuff. I'll say it a million times, I'm not a pro builder, so I make mistakes on pretty much every project or part of a project I do. I have setbacks, and I like to show that stuff just so you guys know that it happens to all of us, even those of us in YouTube land. So that is my update on the Schroll Coupe. We have a bunch of snow right now, so I am kind of stuck with getting the body out of storage and getting it back on the car to start mocking up body mounts, but I'm hoping we can clear things out and the weather will warm up enough that we can get the body snuck in here, slide it over the frame, and I can start working on connecting the body to these sub rails. And then I have a bunch of metal work to do, sheet metal work to do on the body, floors, all that kind of stuff, and it'll keep me busy on this project. But hey, small victories today. I got this sorted out. We should be good for getting a drive shaft made and all that stuff. So it's a win in the end of the day. So thank you guys for following along. Appreciate it. Catch you later.